Hi,
Hi.
I'm Max, knitwear designer, co-founder of Les Garçons, and Padam?
Oh my god.
Padam?
Please.
Has Padam
Make
take
it
over your life?
make it
Because it
stop.
has for me.
Make it stop. Hi. Vincent, knitwear designer. No.
Well,
Yarn dyer.
yes,
Well, yes, but
mostly, yeah.
normally yarn dyer. Uh, also co-founder of Les Garçons. And my
Padam?
legs.
Nope.
No,
Oh.
no. Make it stop. My legs are sore. Yes. Getting old.
We are.
But I'll explain later.
Yeah. So, welcome to a brand new episode of Happy Hour with Les Garçons. It's us
Is it 19? It's almost 20. Almost episode 20. We're good. I
in
think it's
like 2 years,
19.
so we haven't been really good at keeping up, but
What we did like I think the first back together was 11. So
yeah,
we're almost done 10 now.
yeah.
But
Anyway, this is for
yes.
fun.
Yes.
Who cares how many numbers we did? Anyway, after like 20 or something, we just stopped knowing which number we are at. So,
Yeah.
and went
But you know
even
what?
under 20. To this episode, we're both drinking something different. I
Yes.
have just a beer. It's a ale, a blonde ale from Dieu du Ciel. It's a that word.
Microbrewery.
Thank you.
My god.
Local to us.
Almost missed it.
And you're having
I'm having uh Mai Tai kind of
hacked Mai Tai.
hacked Mai Tai.
Hacked Mai Tai.
I followed the recipe from Difford's Guide, which I mentioned the other episode, and it's pineapple rum, dark rum, orange curacao. There's amaretto in it.
It's
There's
orange croissant. So
well,
there's
no,
blue, orange.
I'm using triple sec. It's not blue,
Like, no,
but
there's
there's
blue
white.
carousel. No.
Yeah, there's no curacao is orange. It's an orange base. It's the fruit, the orange, the fruit, not
The
the color.
yeah. Oh, but blue carousel is something.
Yes, it's the orange liqueur, but it's blue. But it's orange the
It's
fruit.
orange, but why is it
Yes.
blue?
I don't know.
This goes against.
I don't know. I don't know why it's blue.
Oh, all right.
Uh,
Okay,
so
sorry.
little, yeah,
I prefer triple sec.
yeah. And this one is Cointreau in it. I didn't have curacao. And then there's almond syrup. There's falernum syrup, which is a new thing that we got. It's has clove in it and dark sugar. Like it's a very Caribbean tiki syrup, and it's very good. And so many ingredients. It's supposed to have like creme de menthe. Also, there's supposed to be like there's so many things in that recipe, but I like
We
so
had
I
to
hacked
buy a
it.
lot of things to make that little
Yeah,
cocktail.
and I hacked it. No, we were only missing the curacao,
And no,
the syrup,
yeah,
the falernum syrup.
but the pineapple rum was
Oh,
pretty
pineapple rum, yeah,
yeah.
also.
So anyway, it's a lot. Getting
But it's
three,
so good.
it is really good.
It's so good, and it was too boozy the first time I made it. So we had pineapple juice and we added just a little bit, and it was very very good. But then I didn't have pineapple juice tonight, so I put grapefruit juice in it. Sue me, but it's good.
Good.
So
So cheers.
that was like I don't know 5 minutes of talking about my ties.
Yep.
There you go. Cheers. So I mentioned my leg were sore, and it's not because I'm getting old, but kind of. I decided,
It's because we're out of shape. No, it's not
yes.
just with the age
Well,
thing.
and I decided that I was gonna run a 10K run before I turned before I turned 30.
You wish.
Yes, I
Did you see
wish.
how I wrote it down? 10K before 4K.
No, what? No.
Well,
So I named it 10K before 40 because I'm turning 40 in less than 5 months.
hmm.
Yes, it's
Because
fine.
we
It's
started
fine.
running a couple of years ago just for fun during summertime for a way of getting more in shape, and during the pandemic was something for us to, get outside and run.
Yeah,
And last year we pretty much has a similar plan of just being able to get to the 10K as a goal, not just before the 40. But we
yeah.
both ended up having COVID during summertime.
Oh yeah, I ran my best fucking run. Sorry, I ran my best run the day before I took a
Yeah,
self test and got my first COVID. So the day before I ran a 5K. It was like 31 degrees Celsius, which is something in Fahrenheit, like 90-ish. I don't know. It was super hot outside. Ran my best 5K, and then the next day, fever and yeah,
yeah.
it was. So we stopped run basically running, and
Because of
he
that, I was able to do run until 8K, which was my all-time best. Because each summer before that, I was doing 5 or 6, and that's it.
yeah,
Until we got the app we're using is Runkeeper. It's free for the first few weeks of your training, and then if you're at week 3 or 4, I think you now have to get a subscription, and I think it's like $60 per year.
yeah,
And it's a thing of yes, it's expensive, but if you're at week 4 or 5, you're serious about getting
yeah. And
through
I've been
it.
using like my money's worth out of it.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I've um did my first 5K program, and then I had started my first 10K program, but then it was a little hard because I was again out of shape and old, and so I went back to like week 4 of my first 5K, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm at week 5 now, actually.
And it's honestly a really great app.
Yeah,
I love the trainer, and you sort of find it annoying because she's reminding you things that you're not thinking about. So it's like, oh, why are you talking? And then okay, she's like, keep your posture up, and
yeah.
I was like, ugh, starting to.
you
So she's really, really a nice
you
motivator.
run like Phoebe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on Instagram, I post a picture every run I do with the stats and everything. And if you're on Instagram, give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, and some encouragement. And yeah, I ran today, and I think I'm gonna take more than one day off because I run every other day. But I think I'm gonna skip 2 maybe because my legs are
Mhm.
telling me that
And
you're old,
we're sort of lazy
dude.
because of the temperature here, where it just goes suddenly from nice outside to like
Yeah, I think it was
65
nice
centimeter
outside
of
when we
snow.
started filming, and that was great.
Yeah.
So,
And so during wintertime, we just don't feel like going to the gym to run. I just love to run outside. We would both love to have the treadmill,
oh yeah,
the crazy sexy one, like really nice and every
I just have Patreon, but
no.
I know it's not that. Um, Peloton.
Yeah. But they're not available in Quebec, and it's just we have a lot of
Mhm.
friends that are using it, and they find it really addictive. So during wintertime, anyway, our goal is to be able to do the whole.
We can find one of you viewers in Ontario, have the treadmill shipped there,
Yeah, and
and
then
then go pick
get
it
it.
up, and we're gonna exchange yarn
Yeah,
maybe for um the trouble.
so we
What
could
do you
actually
think?
like knit and
Yeah,
on the
and walk.
treadmill.
Yeah,
So that's our.
that was my part about sore legs. Yeah,
Then we've pretty much watched just a lot of TV since the last 2 weeks.
three
We've
weeks.
Hmm?
It's been
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's three. That's three.
That's
That's
three.
that's
Yes.
true. Oh. Today words are gonna be hard. We've binge watched Veep, which we started a couple of months ago, but we
Yep.
had 2 or 3 seasons left to watch, I think, and we just like went through in less than a week. I think we finished it.
Yeah.
I think
It's no 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I've okay.
No.
Let me know if you any of you have ever watched The New Adventure of Old Christine. It's an
Oh,
old
no.
sitcom that isn't
The
available
old
anywhere.
adventures.
It I'm trying to get Vincent to watch it so
No,
we could
you tried.
I tried, did I?
Yeah, that's why I'm
Uh
like so against it because we were we had just started dating. Like it had not been a while, and like, oh, this show is so good, so good. And then we watched one episode, and it was crap. And then because the
well
pilot is always crap, and I think that's what
yeah,
you made me watch,
maybe.
and
Because
then it was like, no, I'm not watching that ever again.
I've always loved Julia, and Wanda Sykes is her best friend or neighbor. I don't remember, and I don't know if this show has aged as well. Because if we've been together for 10 years, it means that it's been 10 years since I've watched any of the episode. But for me, I have a vague memory of it being really good and funny. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping to find a way of
Mhm.
watching it anyway. Or have you ever watched Seinfeld? Because I tried, and I'm not a big fan
No.
of the guy, but I guess she's funny, so maybe we have to give it time like The Office.
Yep. I don't know. I've never watched Seinfeld.
But Veep was good. The
Yeah.
last season was trash, but in
Yes.
a positive.
No.
No, I mean it was good, but the characters
Was
were
it?
trash. Well, it represented the politic climate at the time it was filmed, but
Yeah.
still, it is what it is. But it's so funny. Everyone is really, really good. Um, and the other thing we did, I've knit. You're gonna say I knit some things, but we mostly took some time off for ourselves during the weekend, where
Yep.
we played a lot of video games. And well, you finished 2 games
Yeah, but I did that
since.
for like
Oh yeah, two. But still, well,
yeah.
that was a day. In three
No,
weeks
that
we.
was 2 day, like 2 full days, two
That's
full
true.
afternoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I finished Xenoblade Chronicle 3 Future Redeemed, which is a DLC for my game. It was a prequel of the game, and this is my favorite game series after Final Fantasy. It's on the Nintendo Switch. It's from Monolith Soft. If you're a gamer or you want to get into Japanese RPG, it's a great, amazing game. It took me like 30 hours just to finish this one because it's just like a prequel, but I spend mostly on my most of my weekends working on it. It feels so great to just play games and
Yeah.
cuddle with Lola and do
Oh,
nothing. Yeah,
cuddle with Lola.
yeah. That day she was running from Europe to
Yeah.
us.
Um. So when I pointed there, it's because my stash is there, and we're preparing. We're in a decluttering mood, I think, and we're preparing a big destash of all of our yarns we've accumulated over the years, and we've had one like not like a couple years ago. Yeah, last year, a couple years ago.
No, 3 years ago. It was before
Was it before the
we had a
pandemic?
big team, a team, just simply a team. Rosanne wasn't even working here.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so we are preparing that, like figuring out what we keep and what we don't, and I'm not keeping a lot.
Because their taste has changed a
Well,
lot.
it's not the taste because it's still like beautiful
No, they're
stuff.
pretty, but we know what we love even more now than
It's
we
just
did
that
before.
I don't have time to knit with other people's yarn
That's true.
because I want to make samples. Like we're having new yarns, we're having new colors, we're you're releasing patterns, so I want to knit them in my colors also. So I don't have, and because now, which I've not done in a while, but I weave and sew. At
Mm.
some point, we're gonna
You
show
mostly
more.
buy yarn for weaving lately too. Like this,
Yeah.
that's your mindset of it's a quick project. You could actually have it done.
So I'm keeping my most recent purchases that I've done for weaving, or if I really had like design. One set of yarn that I'm keeping, I had like a design kind of I want to make. I don't know if it's something I want to just make for myself or just release, but all in all, I still like buying other people's yarn because other people make pretty things, but I'm like my knitting time is so limited now that I want to make symbols for the shop.
And we're also limited in space. Because,
Yes,
like,
so
this is
yeah.
a wall of just the yarn for, like, the shop, and we have, like, bins of other yarns there, and we try to separate our work life from our personal life, too, which is kind of the big hard thing to do when you're working next year, when you're
Yeah.
self-employed. So I think this decluttering is going to help us a lot
So
do
like
that.
for last weekend, like two afternoons, I photographed and cataloged, wrote the info of all the yarn that I have, put them all in little baggies to keep them great, and then we're gonna find a way to list them somewhere. I don't know yet how it's gonna work. Like I don't know. I don't think we can do it on our website, but we might. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's gonna happen in a few weeks. I think we're gonna have time to film another episode before we
Because it's
actually.
summertime, too, so decluttering is fun, but putting everything online is less fun. So it's
Yes.
gonna maybe take us more time than
Yeah.
expected to do that
So
part.
I had, I guess, 3 bins of my stuff.
Yeah.
Looking over there because it's all there, and then one full bin now. It's like really packed of stuff I want to destash. There's half a bin maybe of stuff that I want to keep with in it stuff that might go in the destash, and then there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be still cataloged and photographed and everything. Like there was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot. So that was my weekend, and then I also played a little video games. I played Final. I was playing. I think I was playing Final Fantasy 3 last time, or I was at the 2.
You finished 1 and 2 last time. You didn't start the third.
Well, now I finished the 3rd, and I started the 4th, and the 4th is
Your tattoo.
my tattoo. This one.
Oh, it looks really good on camera.
Yeah. So this is Cecil from Final Fantasy 4. It's he starts out, well, spoiler alert, starts out as a Dark Knight but then becomes a paladin. So it's like two of him there. I don't know if you can see
And you
that.
have the
Yeah, and then I have the crystal right here, and that's kind of like all the games too. So that's my favorite one. That's
and
the
you
one I grew up with
play them on PlayStation 5. Why?
because I want to have the trophies. I think we mentioned that.
Maybe, but it doesn't make any sense to just have like the little completionist
Completionist.
trophy. But
Yes, it's important. It's like finishing a knit. Like
you don't even weave all your ends, and you want to have the trophy for the game.
what?
I saw.
No,
That's why
no.
I know there's some ends.
There's just one,
Well,
just like one.
well,
But I have all the trophies, so I'm
good for you.
I'm playing them on PlayStation 5. Yeah, so doing 4. That was our weekends since last we spoke, and then we had like really busy weeks of work. We have so many projects on the go.
Yeah, because we're already thinking about autumn, even though that's the thing about like
We're in 2024, right?
yeah, but still,
you know we're in 2024 now, right now.
I'm in December now of autumn.
We might have found a theme for
Yes,
the mystery
yes. Like
holiday mystery box.
I've knitted a
Might.
lot. Well, I've knitted a good amount, but I've mostly been drawing and brainstorming for the past 3 weeks of all the upcoming clubs and things, so
Yeah.
and
So
other goodies. But summertime is for that.
lots of things to come. Stay tuned. Well, we have also finished a few things. and one of them was, I think it was
No, it was finished the
sent.
last time. It was
Yeah,
sent
but
2 days after. It was sent the week.
but then we waited for. Well, it's we're talking about the mysterious podcasters mystery box that we did with Needles at the Ready.
Kevin and Ray.
Kevin and Ray, thank you guys. Like we've been thanking each other in
Yeah.
back and forth in the podcasts. Uh,
So just to give you an idea, we make Mysterious Club all the time. That it's just the two of us. We
yep.
did collaboration for the pins with other yarn shop or other dyers or designers. But that, since I'm always watching their podcasts, I said to Vincent, could we do a project like that? So we did a Zoom call and we just said, look, we have this idea. Would you be interested in? You could actually sleep on it if you want to. And they just screamed yes. And we just started to brainstorm from that. Um, I did the drawing of do you have the postcard?
I
Okay.
have the postcard here.
I did the
Yeah, I've shown it.
drawings. I
Yeah.
asked them if they had an idea of what kind of animal they would like to be represented as, and they gave us like a list.
Yeah.
And I went for Kevin with an owl.
Yeah.
That made me think of a wizard or like his whole Harry Potter obsession and stuff. So for
Yeah.
me, it felt like that. And the owl
Yeah.
is wearing the Once and Floral sweater that
Yeah.
he knits, and he's knitting a shawl, and he's sitting on books because he reads a lot of
Books.
a lot of geek queer,
Oh yeah, man on
romance
man
novel.
fantasy.
Yes, men on men fantasy. And for Kevin, for Ray, I went with a stag. Is it a stag or a deer? I never know the difference.
It can be a stag. I don't.
Yeah,
I think a stag is a male deer, and then
no,
a deer is just a deer.
Well, in the song is a doe, a deer, a female deer.
Yeah, doe is the female deer.
So stag is the male deer?
Yeah, I think so.
But what is a deer? Both?
Yeah, both.
Oh, like a. Oh,
I think
I learned something. Okay.
Well, you might have learned something wrong. I'm not sure. We might look it up after.
Okay. And for me, I wanted to have like a Connecticut vibe. So foresty thing of, well,
Okay.
you know, like
That's true. You've been to
yeah,
Connecticut.
I was to Connecticut. Your experience with Connecticut is Monopoly, but I was there. So I had the stag idea for that, and he's wearing his Ranger cardigan designed by Gerald Flood in the green colorway that Nancy from Trilogy Yarn dyed for him.
So many names.
I know, but it's
yeah.
like I wanted to what they've wore a lot. What are their favorite knits? I've actually put them in it, and he's knitting a sock. So this was the illustration.
Hold on. He's knitting a sock on what?
9-inch circular needles.
No, there's straight needles.
Oh yeah. Listen, I've always wanted to draw the circular needle thing. But it's ugly.
I'm only teasing because I know why he does straight needles, but then some of you had noticed the straight needles and were like, "Oh, he's knitting on straight needles. That's funny." But I knew it's because he couldn't, or not couldn't, but
well, I couldn't for the pins because the detail was too small to make it work. So this is where everything started, and it's an artistic choice. And just be happy it's a knitter that draws people knittings, because a lot of non-knitters will draw things, and it's just like, how? It's not even holding anything. So that was the drawings everyone saw.
And so I'm gonna show the box, kind of. I'm gonna try and show it kind of as it came, like that. Whoop, whoop. So in it he had the 2 candles, the bag, and this yarn. So I'm gonna give you Kevin. So this is the yarn that we dyed, the colorways. It's Mysterious Kevin and Mysterious Ray. That's very original, I know.
But to make sure that you are able to identify who's
who.
So for Kevin, It's a blue with some hint of green all over. So when you're gonna knit it, it's gonna have like some little shiny green moments. And the mini is Vincent's Highland Coup. And it's on our sock yarn, which is
BFL sock. 80% Blueface Leicester and 20% Island.
Yeah.
So for the colors, we, Remy, the dyer, and I layered, started with a dark blue to kind of go with Max's drawing of the sweater. That's a dark blue. And then on top of it, we layered some green and yellow just to have it have and we call that a glaze. So it's just like a little layer of dye, but like just translucent kind of thing. So it doesn't hide the color underneath. It just like adds up to it, and it kind of multiplies the colors. And then you get like fun tonals like that.
And he had a little book as a progress keeper.
Yep. And this is Mysterious Ray, kind of the color again of the cardigan. And this one has some like very like subtle speckling. Like some of it you won't see it's like really speckled. We just speckled over kind of the water, so the speckles like really diluted, and then
blurry.
Some maybe stuck on yarn that I was more on top, but mostly it did just little changes on it. So it's a dark green with a lot of variations in it also, but like very fun. And then it comes with Emma Stone mini and a little coffee cup.
We want to make sure that both of the skein were two different individual, but that were going well together. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
And like you said, those are like subtle effect on the yarn that is gonna show as socks when it's knitted. Or you could use it in shawls too. But the idea was for sock set.
And with it, there was the pins that Max mentioned, little sticker versions of Kevin and Ray, and then a cute
tote bag,
well, drawstring bag, with Kevin and Ray. There you go. And then one more Kevin and Ray thing. It also came with 2 candles from our friend Joel at Muji. He's a local maker and does like wonderful scents. We had the guys at Needles that already pick out their scent.
There are soy candle. For this one, it's Into the Woods.
And this one is Seaside.
And Muji is... We've been working with him since he started. He started during the pandemic. He wasn't happy with his personal job and just went to something totally different. And he was... Like 3 months ago, he was on the equivalent of Shark Tank or Dragon's Den in Quebec.
I think we said.
I think we said it.
Yeah.
And he got investment. So his business has just like grown.
He's been
so
like
much since.
fulfilling so many orders right now.
And they are amazing. The scents are so good. So we're really happy to partner with him for a different project. And it's a queer community, a queer business.
Yeah, as well.
Own. So during Pride Month, if you need candles, Muji is a great place to go.
Kevin's smells so nice. Ray does too, but
I didn't bother opening because I noticed it all. Because we have it already in our place.
Yes.
So that was a good project we've made with friends.
And that took a big part of our time. It kind of felt like a holiday mystery box as well. Like when we were like putting the boxes together, like putting everything in it with Lorianne our studio assistant. It was, yeah, it felt like Christmas.
And thank you for trusting us because you're all going blind onto this box because we just love to show the little drawing and then you get a surprise. Because
Yeah.
as adult, when do we get surprise? Honestly, as gift or we usually get bad surprise like with bills and everything, but something fun is rare. So yarn is a great way
Bills.
to be happy. That's why I'm buying clubs. Don't you get it?
No, that's because you like spending money.
Also,
That's
also.
that's something else. That's another issue.
So this was both of us working on that plus our team.
Yeah,
I've also finished some stuff in the spinning section
of the podcast.
of the podcast. These are about 75 each. One is bigger than the other, so I guess I've made one that I've weighted before. But
No, there was kind of, yeah, they were different.
I thought they were gonna. My goal was to have them even, and it didn't work, but it's fine. For this, I use fiber that was uh, carded by Artifacts of Appreciation. Yeah, I've been a big fan of hers since she started, or even I no, not after she started, because I wasn't even spinning when she started. She mainly used different shade of grays and blacks for her bat.
Your bats.
Yeah, I always add an H, but it's not the same thing. Or bats. Um, so when she came back from after a long time of not doing any, I got
A
one
long
of her.
time, just a break.
Hmm?
Just
It was just a break.
okay.
Um, I got one bat that was a 50-gram carded bat and a 50-gram gray braid of a special fiber. And I wanted to make a 3-ply out of it, and I had other bats from her, so I took 50 grams from another one. So I made a 3-ply out of it with 3 different fiber coming from her. It's a long story to tell you what it is. I'm loving doing 3-plies now, more than two. I'll need to get
Yeah,
another.
Lazy Susan. No,
It's
that's
is
not
it
the one.
Susan who's lazy or
Lazy Kate. Lazy Susan is the cake thing,
it's
and Lazy Kate, I think, is the spinning thing. I think a Lazy Susan is the cake thing that you use to ice like a cake, and I think that's a Lazy
it?
Kate. I'm not sure. Well, it's same thing as Stag and Deer and Doe.
Yeah,
We'll have to check it out.
I'll need to get a lazy someone for three thing because I have only two bobbins that I can put on mine. So the third one I always have to make a cake, but it's somehow just the
uh,
strand is just a little less easier to get into it. So I'll need a
you need a tensioner also on your Lazy something. Is this gonna make our thing a lot easier when making your skeins?
yeah.
Because those spray things
I know.
are not made by Maxim.
No, he does my scanning afterward. I'm like, oh, I've made this for thank you. So really happy. The details doesn't really show good on the screens, but there's like 3 shades of gray. There's some copper tone to it. I'm spinning gray fiber is long, and you're just like, oh, it's the same color all the time. But at the end, this is what I'm gonna knit for sure because I just love the little speckling out of it.
Yeah,
I'll show you my next
feathering.
project. It's more exciting color wise, but it's gonna be harder to have
Oh yeah,
something knitted out of it. But finished it, 150 gram. I'm heavy sport,
yeah.
heavy sport. Yeah, that's what I've
Light
put it.
DK, heavy sport.
That's you now.
That's
Knitting.
me. Oh, knitting. So I finished socks. I've been showing those for a while. They're my experimental vanilla socks. I used yarn from Crafty Jacks out of BC in Canada. She is, yeah. Well, I'm gonna explain also why. So, well, first of all, Here's the end.
That's
That's
the one I
not.
saw.
That's the only one.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I have plenty of ends not woven in. It's just
um, she's a dyer out of BC. She has her own sock yarn that's called Hardy Socks. Hardy Sock or Hardy Socks. It's 25% mohair and 75% non-superwash BFL. So I think it's going to hold up really, really well. I'm going to trust her on that. I know that BFL, like even on its own, is a strong fiber. So, and the colorway is Sea to Sky, and it's the exclusive colorway of the Sweet Thread,
yeah.
Sweet Thread shop in Squamish, BC, where my sister lives. Hi. So when I was there last time, I went to the shop and I bought this and then made socks out of it. Like I said, they are my experimental vanilla socks in which I try different type of heels and toes and everything. And
So did you come to a personal conclusion which one you prefer? Oh, you haven't worn
yes,
them yet, but
yes,
making at
this
least.
morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just like for 5 minutes this morning.
Oh,
Um, I had started, well, first of all, first preference that's been established for a long time is cuff down. Yes, only way. Um, so I started this one, that's the first one, with double pointed needles, just to see if I like that, just to see if I like double pointed needles. And I don't, kind of. I got up to here, I think, with double pointed needles. And I think that's where I was in the last episode that I've shown these. So I didn't like that. I switched to Magic Loop for the rest of the sock. And I also don't like Magic Loop. So this sock I made with 10-inch circular needles. But you can see that my gauge is a little, because this one goes like,
so did you count the rows
yeah,
you made?
so they're
Okay.
the same number
Okay.
of rows, but this one like just goes up to there, kind
Mm-hmm.
of. It's not a big difference, like it won't matter too much. My gauge is also a little tighter, but it's not that much of a difference. But I still prefer the circular, short circular needles. And the other difference is the heel. I've both used, you kind of won't see it, but it's a heel flap and gusset, and the heel is a Dutch heel, so square heel. And this, it's just a number of stitches in it that differ, and this, the smaller one, has the heel is done on a bigger number of stitches, so like a very like a small difference. And then the other difference is for the toe, I like to do, because I do 72 stitches, which is kind of a lot, and I usually go down to about 28, around there, about a little more than a third. So a third would be 24, so I go to 28. Uh, it makes like really long toes if I would just do the normal two stitches. Uh, is it two stitches or four stitches every two rows? So I do 2/3 of the decreases every two rows, and then the last third I do every row. So I do, I don't know, I
So does it
do math.
make it rounder than
Yeah, and
the
then it
straight?
makes,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay.
it doesn't do kind of a pointy toe. It rounds it up a little
Okay.
bit. So I usually do like, yeah, about 2/3 the normal way and the standard way, and then I do it every row, and I prefer that. So I think this one is my final recipe. I'll have to
You took
write it.
some note? Yeah. That was the...
No.
Oh. Well, you're gonna remember because you're
Yeah.
that kind of
Oh, and one
person.
other detail that is also different that I didn't remember, but it won't show here. And I took that from the Vaheldus sock from Alex Bird, and she did her gusset decreases with a purl decrease. So every time you decrease, instead of doing like a knit two tug or an SSK, you would do a purl two tug or an SSP. And it just makes like a little bump. It makes like a nice detail. It's just very minor difference, but I like it better visually.
I like it better visually.
Visually, yes. That's it. I'm done. Done talking about my socks. Now I can wear them because they've been photographed and shown.
But it's summer, so
Yes, I know. Oh well.
and I finished another big project. It's a cardigan. I've shown you all the details since day one. It's my second sample of the Bumpy cardigan, which is currently being test knitted. I've made the first one using our yarn with the dark blue, with it dyed in the wool, dark blue with some pink in it, a colorway available from the Knitting Loft in Toronto.
Yep.
And my first one was very tonal. For the second one, I wanted to use a fluffy yarn with high contrast. And I've been obsessed with Ghost Ranch. I've seen Andrea Maury use it a lot, and there's so many colors in it, from like pink to orange to a dark blue. So I made it using Ghost Ranch, and look at that fade.
Look at that fade.
And look at that arm matching the fade. Both. Yeah. All.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I could. Yeah. Almost. I did chopped my second skein of dyed in the wool to make sure that I could get. You don't really need to have it really evenly matched.
No, I don't think the sleeves don't match, but they match the.
Yeah, they match the sides because, for example, this
This
side
one
doesn't
starts.
match this one, but it's in the back. It's fading. Um, it's an open cardigan. There's like a 3-inch empty space, negative space in the middle.
Yep.
There's no buttonholes on this one, just because I'm not a big fan of them. I say that, but I have in mind of another cardigan in width.
Oh, it's gonna be a zipper, and
No, I don't like
don't
zipper.
kid yourself.
No, I
No,
don't like zippers.
well, you know what? I'll put the zipper in,
No,
and
I
then it's
don't
gonna
like
be
it.
beautiful.
They make when you sit,
No.
you have like that triangle here.
Yeah, that's no.
I don't like it. Um, we'll talk, but
But
I have my idea for buttons. That anyway, we'll talk. I'm not really use them, but if it looks good, yeah. Um, don't really know what to say because that's the second one I've made. The pattern is being tested right now. We're almost at the end of the test. A lot of
Yep.
testers have already finished it. It's gonna be out July 7th or 6th, but I think it's July 7th because I put it on the 4th first, and I realized, oh, that's the 4th of July. It doesn't work. There is like a day off for
Yeah, it's for us. It doesn't mean much, but
because
yeah,
our day off is July
July
1st
1st,
because it's
yeah.
Canada Day.
Canada.
Canada Day. Have the How I Met Your Mother song. Let's go to the mall.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That show hasn't aged well at all. Um, so really fluffy, really nice. I wanted to wear it the whole episode, but it's really warm today. But I'll try to
Oh,
wear
yeah.
it just a bit much. It's a top down. You can customize it. I may always make my
Sleeves
sleeve
longer.
longer lately. You can stop whenever you want. Easy to
Yep.
customize. Same thing. I've seen a lot of testers that are just like finished it right here, some ribbing, and you get a not a crop, but like shorter
Yeah,
here. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say because I've talked
I
about it
kind of
so
want to make
much.
one, or maybe you can make me one,
You
or I
were
can.
my ethnicity.
I can wear the blue one now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you can expect a lot of cardigan from me in 2024 because I had it. That's my first designer, but those are so easy to just pop in over a t-shirt and you just hello knitting. And if I'm too warm, you're just like, ooh. Oh, and look at the inside, how clean it is. That's the pickup for the
Oh yeah.
I-cord. And then you don't see it. But then,
Woo. You gonna go flash people?
well, we're taking the photo this week with Remy, the photographer. So I'm excited to finally have something nice
Yeah.
to show.
Oh, nice.
And as you can see, pink is my new favorite color, pink and lavender. I just love it. And see how olive green and pink just go together? It's like we're meant to be.
What? What's
You're not
that
following?
thing? Just show your next project where the whip
No, I'm
stuff.
done. No, no.
Yeah.
We haven't transitioned yet. I haven't
Oh, we haven't
inserted.
we haven't transitioned yet.
No, I haven't inserted the thing. Look, it's here now.
Are you?
And we're back.
Transition.
Yes. Something that we're not gonna see often, but I'm able to show a whip of spinning. I've decided to spin my first sweater project. Usually when I spin, I just do it for fun with no idea in mind of what I'm gonna use it for at the end. But I've bought a sweater quantity of this from Hedgehog Fiber. These are their Lucky Dips. Each bags are 125 grams of Merino Superwash. Superwash.
Super
Superwash. Superwash. That's 70% superwash merino and 30% nylon. These are so easy to spin directly from the braids. So I got a whole sweater quantity of this. I'm gonna design something or maybe use a pattern. I'm not sure yet. I used the braid and I divided it in three so I could get really like
It's already
small parts.
divided,
Yeah,
right?
this one I've cleaned it out. I've removed some little parts where the yellow dyed was too saturated, so
Like
it turned
here.
out to be orange.
Orange.
Yeah, so I've removed most of the part that I wasn't a fan of, and that's the thing about spinning, you could actually plan ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 3 plies, hoping to get DK or Sport.
Oh my god, it's so tiny.
I know. I'm really good at making it smaller now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the little, yeah, before it was like,
Like,
ugh.
oh, I think I have. I think it's gonna be DK. Like, it's bulky.
Yeah, I had to be humble about dry and like disgusting, and I wasn't really good at first. Um, so I'm hoping with having the braid divided into three and having a 3 ply out of it that every color are gonna be represent there often. So I'm not gonna have like a faded sweater from uh, pink to blue to then yellow. I'm gonna have little um, like pooling of colors, but are not gonna repeat themselves because it's
Yeah, it's gonna.
all
Yeah, it's gonna be feathered, maybe. Like, kind of.
yeah. And I think I'm not gonna do stockinette stitch, but something that will actually break the pattern to create even. Well, see, I was excited with this. As I said earlier, I'm into pinks and lavenders lately, and having most of it being like a fluorescent blue, like baby blue, but not the but
Electric.
electric blue, electric baby blue.
Electric. What's an electric baby? Caribbean blue,
Yeah,
kind of.
but pale.
Well, Caribbean is pale, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to. I'm gonna do like one bag for each bobbin. So now I'm gonna have 320, oh, no,
Three
125, like
375.
375 grams, and do my
Plying.
plying. Oh, so many
Well,
technical things in
English is
English.
hard
Yeah,
today.
it is. Um, I hope it's gonna look good. Well, it's gonna look good. I know the three colors are gonna look good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to use it as sweater. I hope so. But that's my idea of a sweater project. Taking myself out of a comfort zone, having it look handmade, all those little things together are going to be something that I'm hoping are going to look good. But having these colors come one after the other one, I did this like in a weekend, that bobbin, compared to the gray that took me a longer time. What?
That bobbin.
That bobbin. I don't know. It was just exciting to do like colors.
Bobbin.
Bobbin. You sound like a frog. The I sounded like a frog.
Yes.
Bobbin.
You said bobbin.
Bobbin. Bobbin. Bobbin.
Yeah. One thing that I saw, and it's not, maybe related to the colors, and something that I might want to do is knit a full sweater out of aircrew yarn or like bare yarn and then dye it afterwards. Not like the one that you did, but
I was tempted to do something with that yarn and have it dyed afterward. Like maybe
no.
No, maybe a dip dyed.
No.
Well, it's
No.
I know, but dip dyed.
But Sorella on Instagram did that. Sorella, SEW to sew,
Okay.
but then Rella. I don't know. I think her name was invented. It doesn't really mean anything.
The chin fiber dyed things too, with their
Yeah.
colorways on the a knitted.
She had like a bare yarn, like a white sweater, and then just dyed stuff on it, and it looked fine. But I don't know if I want to maybe ruin a sweater.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
that
spinning project
that was a little thing because the colors she used kind of looked
similar.
Like this. Yeah. That's why it made me think of it.
That's the fabric dyed after.
This is the we showed it last episode, but I decided to use it for a Discord project that I don't think I had started. No, I started it.
Nope, you haven't.
It started on the day the episode was published, so because we filmed before, and with the magic of technology, film a few days before
technology.
that. So I started a new project. It's the I'm not sure if we maybe mentioned it.
No, we haven't. It wasn't out yet.
Anyway, it's Susan Sommer or Sosunits on
Instagram. And...
Yeah, it's because I forget what I say on the newsletter and then what we say here because they're basically the same thing, but then sometimes there's newsletter when there's no episodes. Anyway,
we're dealing with all of things
yes.
lately.
So, yeah, what I'm working on also knitting, but we've had in the last newsletter a call for sample knitters, and so many of you, not you watchers, but so many of people that are subscribed to the newsletter sent in an application because we have new yarn coming in and we are not good about making samples with our own yarn. We decided to outsource it, right? So we asked for people who wanted to knit samples for us to submit an application, and then we selected people and then send them projects, but we actually haven't sent them anything yet because it's taking so much time to just organize everything. So that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that everyone is enjoying it, and yeah,
that was one of my whip.
Yeah,
this week, like selecting, communicating with everyone, sending out the agreements and sending out the yarn and everything, like buying the patterns for everyone. It's a process. And I feel like I'm back working at an office because I've been doing computer and computer and computer. Anyway,
That's the downside of having so many good ideas and things
yes.
coming in where we have to deal with, well, you have to deal with even more thing on the back end.
All that to say that 3 weeks ago I decided to start Susan Sommer's Brioche MCal mystery knit along. I think she does it every year, or as
Tanya made it the last 2 years.
maybe
so.
she skipped a year. Anyway, um, she's been doing it for a few years now. And so it's a mystery knit along. Every week you receive a new clue of whatever the next part of the shawl is going to be. You know that it's a shawl. You know that, and with her, you know that it's brioche because that's
It's in
what.
the name.
Yeah, well, it's in the name, but it's
And it's a
also
mystery.
it's also
And then it along.
you're so annoying.
Yes. Hi.
She. I'm not gonna show it yet. She's really good
No,
with brioche.
Yeah.
And has like a lot of brioche shawl patterns and other stuff. And then so she does mystery knit along. And I decided I wanted to do some brioche, like basically because I wanted to knit brioche and I didn't want to choose a project.
She's also a workshop teacher. She gives a lot of brioche classes.
I didn't bring the pattern, but in the pattern she had you could choose either 2, 3, or 4 colors to do the pattern. I'm just taking out the colors now, really subtly. There you go. So you could choose 2, 3, or 4 colors. She kind of showed examples also in the pattern, like how the colors kind of interact, but not really interact with each other. But she gave examples like of what type of colors you could choose. And my first color choice, because you're in for a journey.
Oh God, make it quick.
No. My first color choice.
My journey
was these 4. So you have here Nick's current obsession. Here you have Remy next. Yeah, there you go. Point down. At the bottom you have Natural, and then Vincent Silent Coup. So those were my first 4 colors. And I started the first section with those 2. And I'm going to show it now because it's going to be easier to show, to understand. So this is what I have so far.
So that's almost the end of clue 1.
No, there's a lot more of this.
Oh yeah, you finished
Yeah,
clue 1.
yeah, it was.
Okay.
So that first part is clue 1, section 1. And at first I used Nick and Remy in the background. And the plan was to have, like I have here, Natural and Vincent together. But then I got scared of how, like, if she changes how the colors play together, like if yarn A, so that's yarn A, and that's the back of it is yarn B.
Because we've always been a fan of low contrast, mostly. And you have 2 yarn that contrast a lot.
And I'm like, I start to overthink colors like super quickly. So that's yarn A, that's yarn B, and then here you have yarn C and D. So I was thinking, like I started this with Remy and Nick. I was thinking, oh, but what if she makes like permutations and then you have to use A with D, and Is it gonna look nice? I didn't think so.
Like, we love mystery,
Yeah.
but we're not a
No,
fan
I'm
of
not. I'm
not
not
knowing.
good. I'm not good with
So
mysteries. Yeah.
we love not knowing what it's gonna look like at the end, but not knowing the colors.
So
Yeah.
I went with an option with less contrast using those four. So basically replacing Vincent's Highland Coup with Twyla Sand. And then using these two as yarn A and B and these two as yarn C and D. And then I did all of the first clue, which is this brioche part, and then there's a garter part here that goes about the same height. So if you can imagine, I had done that, and then I had done 50 more rows.
I don't know as
Yeah, it
high.
was
Okay.
about as high.
Okay.
So 52 rows of garter. And then I read clue 2. And then I was like, oh no. She uses the same colors in the same.
There's two pairs
Yeah,
all the
they're
time.
like
Yeah.
there's no like you're always using A with B for brioche, and then you're always using C and D for garter. And what changes is where the brioche is and where the garter is. So I for a week I didn't touch it, and I was like, should I rip it out and do the kind of the original idea of having like more contrast here in the garter? I thought about it, thought about it, thought about it, thought about it so long that clue 3 came out, and then the color pairs are still the same in clue 3. So I was like, that's it.
It just makes more sense to have your two pairs being both high contrast. Because the
Or
first one
like
is really, really
this
nice.
was
So
and the color choice at the beginning was nice, like on its own. Like whatever, like the four colors that I had chosen were nice, but I got too afraid. I changed. I was wrong, so I changed again. So now I'm back to Clue One. I'm 2 weeks
this is this
late.
one and
It's
natural.
natural.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the ripped part
Oh
I
yeah.
have. Yeah. So
So these are your two pairs, which
no. So sorry, Remy, you're out. Um,
oh
no,
okay yeah. So you have
I
to really
did.
yeah.
So I would have gone back to the original one, which was that, but I didn't want to redo all the
Yeah yeah.
brioche.
Well,
Like I'm
there's a
okay
difference,
with
but not as
yeah, and I'm okay
visually.
with redoing
Yeah.
like all of the garter stitch that
Oh,
I
but
had
those are
done.
really nice together.
I know that was the original plan,
Okay.
but I really didn't want to redo all the
Yeah yeah.
brioche, so
Yeah, it's
we're
fine.
going with that.
Yeah yeah.
So I replaced Remy with Twyla Sand, which is an obsession on that base. Like I really love it. So that's it. So that's my whip. It was a long time talking about it. Again, we talked about Mai Tais for a long time, and then we talked about this whip for a long time.
So you talk a lot,
Yes.
not me.
No. But now I'm gonna continue, and I know like I haven't seen much I haven't seen much like spoilers of the other clues apart from one picture really quickly, but I read the clues and I know where everything's gonna go, and I know that now at least up to clue 3 is gonna look very nice as it
And
is.
Susan's pattern are so well written.
Yeah.
I love all the steps are separated. I have one of my whips that I just haven't touched
Sorry,
on.
Lola is talking to someone in the
Yeah,
street.
she's seen someone outside that she just didn't like. Uh, and her pattern are so well written. The instruction are really well devised.
Yeah.
Brioche is really fun to do. It's scary before you do it.
Yeah.
But once you're into it, it's super fun. So
No,
we
and
both
I
recommend
knit
Susan's pattern.
Continental as well, so it's like super like fun rhythm. to do brioche. That's why I wanted to do some. So and I picked that project, and was I loved what it looked like when I had completed that section 2 of Clue 1, but I know that it's gonna look so much better
It does look right
with
now like a salmon.
yeah, it looks like a salmon steak
Yeah,
or a Star Trek insignia, like
yeah.
huge Star Trek insignia.
No. Rock and roll. I come in
Yes.
peace.
So yeah.
Nice. My turn.
Yes. You can
But
talk now.
I can and I can't.
Oh yeah. You can show it, but not
Yes.
say what it is.
I'm okay, so you've seen Vincent using the beautiful bag by Heidenhammer because
Yes.
he loves it, but color-wise they don't go well together.
Oh,
But he doesn't care. But for me, I have the other
I actually have one of those that
would have been even better.
yes.
So I have this one, and look at the colors. I mean, I just love things that are.
No.
I'm even better than you.
Yes.
Like, look at that. Um,
Well, and you're using a color that I
Yes.
have no idea how to reproduce. So
okay.
yes.
So I'm able to show you what it is, but I cannot tell you for
where
what.
it's going.
Yes. This is what I'm working right now. It's gonna be out like next year. So it's gonna take a while. My second design that I've made, my first backward. My first design that I've made was a sweater called the Fur Foxite sweater with little foxes all around. It just felt like it was totally me bringing illustration to a sweater. And after that, I was like, okay, what do I do next? I've decided to go into the same route as the first one. And back in the day, I was in a messenger group with other friends and designers, and I was asking opinion about every step of the way while I was designing. Everyone has an input because I've asked, and that way I thought I was doing something that I liked because I was asking advice all the way through. The final project ended up something that I wasn't proud of. I didn't like the color, my chart wasn't as I wanted it. Why? Because I was asking advice from everyone to
And not
convince me that it
trusting
was
your instincts.
exactly that I felt something was wrong, but I was asking, is it wrong or not? And then, so I've stopped doing that, and I've just realized that I need to convince myself that it's okay to be okay. So the sweater wasn't as expected, and it's no one's fault except myself. Okay?
I have the receipts.
Yes.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't even know which group you're talking
I know
about.
it's ages ago, like, but it's just I went into the designing something that I thought people would like, which never works. You have to do
No.
something that you like yourself, and if you like it enough, maybe other people will like it too. That's the only way of doing something that in any field of illustration or whatever. So that's how I did that. So that sweater, I've removed it from Ravelry because I wasn't happy with it. So it's
It
been
was
unavailable.
Frankly, my dear.
Frankly, my
We
dear
can name
sweater.
it. We did receive like a few messages, like every once in a while we have a message like, why, like, where can we get it? Like, why isn't it available? So
Yeah, and I just took it down because I wasn't happy with it, and I wanted to rework it,
yeah.
but finding the time for it or realizing what was wrong with it was quite hard. So, and
Oh, it's because Ravelry doesn't let you like completely
yeah, because people who bought it are
still have it.
still have
Yeah,
access
so
to
you
it. But
cannot completely delete something off of Ravelry. I guess they should allow people to like not have it shown in results so that new people don't
well,
discover it.
it's fine that it's there. Like
Yeah,
it's
but anyway, that's
yeah.
another.
But just to give you an example, like I've worked on many books before, and one year I was really struggling to make ends meet, and I've worked on a book that I was like, not really into it, of someone else, and it just turned out my illustration was shit, the story was shit. But it's just when you Google my name, the book is there associated with me. I cannot remove it from. But I had to pay my bills back in the day, so it's something that it's there, but you're just like, why is it associated to my name? So I
Yeah.
felt that with now we had the whole control because we're self-employed and our patterns are ours. I could take it down because I wasn't happy with it and be able to rework it like 4 5 years later now. So
Yeah.
I'm finally working on it. I fixed everything I didn't like about the grid. It's less busy.
The chart.
Yeah, the chart.
Yeah.
I've reworked the construction of everything, and I just feel like it breathes even more.
Your end is not
Well,
woven
none of I'm designing,
in.
and actually, because I put it on, I can put it on, and it's using our yarn.
Yes.
It's the BFL Twist DK.
So it's non superwash, but it still has like a crispness to it. Are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, but it's
Oh.
stuck in its stitch. It's fine.
So it's obviously not the most ideal yarn for color work because if you get like a non superwash, like it grips a little bit better and then your stitch is a little bit better.
It's
Uh,
easier with non-superwash, but this one it worked out
yeah,
quite.
it looks like awesome on
Yeah,
camera.
and it's just steam blocked. Um, so these are deers wearing little bow ties. I'm using
Emma
Emma
Stone.
Stone. The white is Betty's white, and I swore I was gonna take a break from Edith's Butler, but
It is Butler.
that's
Yeah,
my third sweater with Edith's Butler. But
yeah.
the color is just
And that one, spoiler alert, I'm gonna recreate it, and it's gonna be called Alex's Squirrel Friends, because
oh, I love it.
Alex Bird, her favorite animal
Is a
is
squirrel,
squirrel. Well, or her parents were naming her like little squirrel, and then anyway, there's a squirrel history,
but
or
it
this,
goes well with her hair, and she
yeah.
uses a lot of that shade of color in most of
So
it in a lot
yeah,
of the
so it's
designs.
well, I think it would have been terracotta,
Yeah,
terracotta.
yeah.
I think it was the one. Oh, I know how to recreate that now because I have the recipe somewhere. I know. But yeah, it's gonna be called Alex's Squirrel Friend. Because it looked like a red squirrel,
But it's a deer.
but it's a
A
deer.
deer. Oh, is it a deer or no? Yeah, it's a deer. Is it a stag or a
Oh,
doe? A deer.
it's a deer.
I'm gonna. We need to watch the Sound of Music.
No, no, we
We
don't.
don't. Yeah. So I've made a. Well, I've casted it on in the past 3 weeks, so I made a lot of progress on it. Um, and while I was reworking on it, I made sure that it's only this part to that part that has 3 colors per row. So it's the harder part, but there's no augmentation while you're doing the 3 colors, and most of
Increases.
it otherwise will be only 2. So I've made it more manageable than it was before. It just with 5 years of difference between being a newcomer to having designed a lot of more sweater and grading a lot of more things. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, I was looking at where the
Yeah. So it's a secret project. I don't know if I'm gonna like sprint through it because I've made a good chunk of the body and do the sleeve, or if I'm gonna keep it as a lazy stockinette project for the summer when I just wanna
yeah.
nut thing. So I don't. It's quite heavy because of the 3 colors here. So I might just like do it before we have our first heat wave. I don't know.
And I'm gonna do a little PSA, public service announcement, because one thing happened when you were knitting it.
Yeah, but it's fine now.
It's
It's
fine
just
now,
yeah.
but I'm just gonna tell people. Um,
Tell me then.
well, I've been telling
I
you like
know,
many
but
times.
I'm like, eh.
When you get hand-dyed yarn, you should always, or you should not always, but most of the times, but always alternate sorry, alternate your skates when you're knitting. Even if you get the same dye lot, even if many times during like in the past you've not alternated and it was fine, please do because
Because this one, the lot has a little. I had the difference between two
but
of it, but
yeah,
it showed. It didn't really show in real life, but it showed in photos. And
yeah,
as a pattern designer, you need to take photos of shit to have it published, and it showed a lot. So I had to like I think I had this done before and had to read that
yeah.
all again, and then alternate.
And now it's kind of showing that this is different, but it's not. Um,
No, this
yeah,
was previously blocked, and I've just
yeah,
not blocked, but Steam like 3 or 3 times, and this just once. So that's the difference between
yeah.
both.
But he then I've knitted our yarn, my yarn, without alternating, but I was always a little bit scared, and I would like alternate for like maybe like 2 inches,
I've
like
never
between two
alternated with
skeins, and
Ariane.
he never did, and he was like, "Oh, it's
Like
fine."
that's
I
my
never,
third sweater in this color, and that's the first time I
yeah,
have to alternate. And with this space, the other sweater interference that
yeah,
I didn't alternate.
yeah.
So I was like, we're in.
Well,
It's
it's probably
ours.
because it was like there was
It
a mistake in
happens.
the
Yeah, yeah,
dyeing,
it just
but
happened.
it
But
was just again public service announcement. Uh,
and
if you don't want to be frustrated, our lots.
let me be clear, I didn't complain about
No,
that.
you,
Other things,
about that.
yes, but not that.
Our lots, our dye lots are usually like really, really good. One lot, you won't see a difference between two skeins. Even between lots, I would say like they're pretty similar because we measure to the milligram. Like we measure dye like really, really, really precisely. So it's supposed to be the same. I would alternate if it's two different lots for sure. If it's one lot, you do you. I would still alternate for like maybe like 2 inches between skeins, and then you
Hmm.
can so you have like kind of a buffer between two skeins. That's it. I'm
But
done.
I did keep little balls for alternating
Yeah,
at the beginning
at
of
the beginning
here.
of the sleeves.
So
That's it. I'm done. Public service announcement is done.
so I'll show you more about it later on. I
With
don't know.
sleeves,
It's
maybe.
gonna have a different name this time around, but it's the same deal. Oh, and the difference is beforehand I had is the eyes that was doing on my characters were 3 stitches long, but on the chart it looks like squares and it's nice. But when it's stitches, it's just like small triangles, and it didn't feel
Yeah.
as clear. So having just one now feels like his eyes are closed
Yeah.
and cute. So it's all those little things that I've learned since.
Yeah. We're almost at the end, and we're supposed to talk about what's in the shop. Well, there's something new in the shop.
Yes,
But
I can do that first.
yeah, do that first. There's something new in the shop.
This month is Pride Month. If not if all my patterns are 20% off until the end of the month
Yeah.
with
Cupid
coupon code, coupon code,
promo code.
promo code.
Discount.
Everybody say love, and all caps. It works on Ravelry and our website too. And I've put all the Les Garçons patterns and even yours, by the way, on the website. So if you want
Yeah, I
Vincent's
know.
pattern, you could
I
get
know.
it with.
I
It was
I
easier
saw
this
one of
way.
my
I'm like,
one of my pattern go for 20% off
yeah.
and it without me authorizing it. No, I don't. I really don't care. Um,
And for Pride Month, we took a break last year just because we didn't have time. I've created another enamel pin with a rainbow plating.
Yep.
This one is a little lion. You don't
Let
really
me
see
see.
it well, but you can see it on
Let's
the
see
website.
if I can do something.
It's gonna focus on her face.
Yeah, on their faces. No.
But the
Well, no. Well, I won't.
well,
Look
that's what they do on the
I
pot.
know.
Do it. Be a real one. Go.
Hold on.
Go.
I'm just gonna put it there in front of your face.
Good.
There you go. So it's a little lion with a heart on his butt, a ball of yarn, and a little crown.
Yep, his name is Pride. All the proceed, and is it proceed? Well, the whole amount out of it. So
Yeah, it's $12. If you the $12 is gonna go to
Gender Creative Kids.
yeah,
It's a non-profit foundation, fondation,
yeah,
non-profit
non-profit.
in Montreal. It's really down the street from us. They specialize in helping young kids figure out their identity. If they feel like
And
they're going to be trans, non-binary, or just learn
yeah,
about things.
and they do some outreach in the schools and everything with parents. Give information about how to deal with a kid that has gender identity questions and stuff like that.
That's how you protect your children with information.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that. And clear. And it's really close to our heart because one of my friends is actually using it with their kids, and they've just been really, really good with it. So we're really happy to be working with them again. It's something close to our heart.
Yeah. And it's not the end of the year, but it's the end of our
Fish kill,
fish kill.
financial fish.
That's it shows that you're not the one taking
No,
care of that.
fiscal fish skill.
Oh my god. So that's a boring thing. The our fiscal year is ending, and at the end of the fiscal year, we have to count inventory, and we're lazy. So, and we're also like I taking inspiration from Carmen, our friend at Yarn Story. She also does that. I think our fiscal year also ends.
Spoiler alert: everyone is lazy.
Yes, everyone is lazy, and everyone's fiscal year ends on July 1st, or June 30th. At least hers and ours, and because we don't want inventory to count all the skeins that are up there, we're gonna make a sale so that we can get as much out before counting. So it's not happening now. It's going to be the last week of June, from the 23rd to the 30th. So the last full week of June.
Will we have another?
We're gonna have an episode like smack down in the middle of that week, I think.
Okay, so next episode we're gonna be able to say it's happening.
On now.
It's on now.
Okay. We're still. I think it's gonna be. We're still. Lola's walking around. We still haven't decided everything that's gonna happen during that week. But most of the stock is gonna be 20% off. So help us be lazy and not count inventory. We're gonna have more stash enhancers made with the yarn that we find here and there. There's always like a YOLO in that corner and then a YOLO in that corner, and then we're gonna just like put everything together and make sure that we have the less thing, like the fewest things to count as possible. Oh,
Yeah.
look, someone's
hungry.
tired and hungry.
Tired and hungry.
Yeah.
She's trying to seduce me to give her food.
Hello.
And you.
So next week, I'm just looking at my phone here because the date is there. This episode, yeah, next week, next Friday, not the Friday that this episode airs, the one after the inventory sale is going to start. Please subscribe to our newsletter, as this is where we're going to put all of the details on the sale, what special is going to be, if some things are going to be more discounted than others, new products that we basically just found in some drawer or box that, yeah, there's going to be all sorts of surprises. So
to you and to us.
yes, one thing that Loriane is gonna have to do next week, and I've told her already, is just come up here and then basically gather everything that's not on those shelves and make sure that we have everything.
Is this a dust bowl or mohair? We
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
don't know.
We don't know. Oh,
So yeah, big inventory sale next week, and we'll see you there, and then we'll see you in 2 weeks, I guess.
yes. And just a little quick heads up. Next week I'm gonna
Yep,
go to Chicago. I'm gonna spend 2 days there. It was a trip that we
Chicago.
had. Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago. It was a trip that we had planned, both of us together, to go to a trade show. But then Vincent's sister is flying in on the day that we're supposed to leave. So I'm going there with my friend Tanya, and I'm gonna see Vincent's sister at the end of the week, on the
Yeah,
weekend afterward.
and my sister is not coming alone. She's
No,
coming with my little nephew.
yes, I'm gonna see him for the first time.
Yes, and yeah. So expect a lot of baby pictures in the next few weeks. In the next week.
And Chicago pictures.
Oh no, boring.
Oh,
Boo.
I'm just gonna take photos of babies in Chicago that aren't ours. Creep. All right.
um,
So have a good 2 weeks. I hope the sun is coming out and it's warm and you still get some knitting mojo outside by the pool. If you have a pool, then please invite
enjoy it
us.
for, yeah, or invite us, or enjoy it for us.
Yeah. So
Bye.
see you.